Star Report. I am your host, Star. Welcome to the show. It is Thursday evening, and folks, I am here to kick Brother Polight's back in. Yes. Never met him. He's called into my show on multiple occasions. Some of you may or may not know this, and he has taken a plea deal. This is a huge story in the urban world. It might not be trending on, TMZ and all these other, platforms, but this is still a big story. And earlier, I posted a video in my community section, which I since took down, of Brother Polight talking prior to accepting his plea deal. He possibly made that video a day or two before taking the plea deal, and he is just still, in my opinion, an arrogant piece of shit. So I am here to kick his back in, okay? And I want to ask some of you folks this evening, if you have ever been scammed by Brother Polight, reach out to me. I have someone that may or may not be able to assist you. Attorney Aikisha Al-Shabazz. I say again, Attorney Aikisha Al-Shabazz. I referenced her in yesterday's show, and she put a comment in the comment section thanking me. So I took the liberty of having someone create a banner for her. Hopefully everything is spelled right. If you're out there, Attorney Al-Shabazz, check your email, please. The banner is in my community section, and she has been putting her foot on Brother Polight's neck for years, trying to represent people to go after him for allegedly scamming. So at this particular point in time, he has been convicted, he has been sentenced, he has been put away. He's not walking around. He's in the goddamn system, and he's going to do his 7 years, 85% of that time, if I'm not mistaken. So I want to see if there's a chance that people can now come together and file some type of complaint, just something that will become a real problem for him. So yes, I'm here to kick his back in tonight. And I spoke to a couple of other people earlier, and I'm going to try to be as objective as I can here this evening without anything by way of letting relationships get involved. I don't know who, was supporting him or not supporting him. On yesterday's show, we spoke about the atmosphere of acceptance. The atmosphere of acceptance. And I have seen some people make statements to distance themselves from him now. And I spoke to a couple of people today. You know what? I'm not going to get involved. I don't know who supported him and who didn't support him. But Brother Polight, again, a piece of shit. I don't like the fact that he was in the company of a minor and, according to the mother and others, missing. He's doing all sorts of slick talk and double talk now. And again, the video that I posted earlier in my community section, after about an hour, I said, you know what? Take this nonsense down. There's a YouTube channel that's out there. Some people run it. They're supporters of mine. Hip Hop on Trial. Go to Hip Hop on Trial on YouTube. You can see Brother Polight talking, but I don't want to put that on the Star Report, okay? Anyway, phone lines are open early, and I want to see if there's a chance, again, with regards to any type of action that can be taken now that he's locked up with regards to him scamming. Did he catch you lacking? Was he riding around in a Phantom with the heavy metal whilst you gave him your life savings? Now, the heavy metal, according to him, is the credit cards, the metal credit cards. Oh, huh? The Rolls Royce. The Rolls Royce Diaries. It's not funny. Troll babies, good evening. Are you guys there? How you feeling? Hold on a second. Let me get my head right early, because I am here to kick the niggas back in. No ifs, ands, or buts, okay? Also, guys, I want to go back. With regards to Diddy and the bad boy publishing that he is, giving back to most, if not all, artists. We said it's a good thing. Yes, giving it back. Yeah, everybody got to eat. Rapper songwriter, Mark Curry, who I'm not sure if I've ever met him before, but his name was ringing bells once upon a time, and I had to pull some information, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. He never put out an album on Bad Boy, correct? However, he has been a songwriter. He has been down with that team for a lot of years. He was there during the heyday. Please be clear if you don't know his name. And he has been very outspoken with regards to saying that the publishing is worthless. So, my homie Goo may or may not call in tonight. Let me see if Goo tapped in. Not yet. Okay. Goo, if you're out there and if you want to call in, let's have a similar conversation to how we had the other night. And I am trying to get Goo to go live on YouTube because he has got so much knowledge with regards to publishing, residuals, mechanical royalties, all sorts of things. ASCAP, BMI, He's the guy. He's the guy. So I'm going to go back. I want to ask you guys, is the Bad Boy publishing worthless, in your opinion? Also, coming up tonight, hold on a second. I just want to mention this. I'm not trying to kick 1090 Jake's back in. You know, he's a young guy. I think I'm probably old enough to be his father or grandfather. But he's doing the damn thing. Yes, he is. Troll Babies, is 1090 Jake part of the Snitch Network? I feel like I want to commend him because I posted more paperwork of his in the community section. Please download it now because by 9 a.m. it will be gone. 1090 Jake, is he a fucking rat? Is he a snitch? How did he catch these charges? In the state of Florida, holy mother of God, possession of a firearm, convicted of a firearm, damn, burglary. And we already spoke about, him putting hands on a senior citizen. That's a fact, according to the paperwork, I'm not trying to kick his back in, but, he puts everybody else's paperwork out there, so he should be okay with us posting his, okay? Take the paperwork. Post it, make videos, feed yourselves, eat. Okay. If you want to call in, please do so. If not, I'll just set it right here. Okay. But 1090 Jake, is he a fucking rat? Is he part of the Snitch Network? Okay. All right. Let's go back to Brother Polight for a second here. And salute to attorney Al-Shabazz. She gave a great breakdown earlier on her YouTube platform, and she spoke about Polight accepting the involuntary commitment that the judge asked him during the sentencing if he understood it. And Polight said, yeah. It's one of the few times he said yeah as opposed to yes, if you caught that, okay? And let me just say I have an issue with Brother Polight and others like him who talk real highfalutin when it comes to people of color, They talk all fly, flashy, and jiggy, but when they get in front of the Caucasian, they go into slave mode, Y'all gonna cut the lights off up in here? I was scared of the dark. R.I.P. to Michael Clark Duncan, that's from the Green Mile. So I have a problem with people like Brother Polight, again, when they get in front of that Caucasian, and they see those baby blues, they get to shaking in their boots, clacking at their knees, and they don't keep the same energy. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, that would have been the time when Brother Polight could have said something. He could have addressed the court. Maybe it was not the best time. He accepted a plea deal, and he had very little to say. In fact, I don't think he said anything, and that concerns me. That concerns me with people like him who, again, are so defiant. What's that old saying from the 70s? Die with the lie. That goes back to the 70s. You know my age, born in 64, okay? All right, phone lines open right now. Blade, I got your email. Hold on a second. Blade says, Mark Curry. Yeah. Well, I want to get into that. Yes. And Goo may or may not call in because I called Goo earlier. Goo and I talk all the time. And I said, Goo, did he give back their masters? And then he started going in the other direction. I said, Goo, did he give back the masters? He said, no. Is the publishing worthless? Did he drain all of it? Did he drain everything he could by way of streaming? I know for a fact that streaming numbers are fabricated. They're fabricated. Folks, I worked at WEA, Warner Electra Atlantic. You know this already. Going back to the mid-'80s up through the '90s, I did pop, rock, promotion, billboard reporting stores, retail reporting stores. I promoted classical music. I was there when everything switched over to SoundScan, and we were still calling stores, one-stops and other places, even mom and pops, to get them to lie, to fudge the numbers. We would send them what's called boxes of cleans. A clean, like a box of CDs that they could sell in the store. They were technically promotional items, and usually they had like a staple or something, clipped out of the corner, and you could get them to report a certain song as a top 20 seller, or if I would call a billboard, a radio reporting mom and pop, I could get them to say, well, can you say that, one of your top 5 selling singles is such and such? I have worked everything, this already, from White Lion, songs like Wait, Winger, Rat. Oh my God. The list goes on and on and on. So, has Diddy drained the publishing with regards to streaming? And Mark Curry, I'm not sure if we've met or not before, sir. I do know that you are a very instrumental part of the bad boy rise and its place in history. If you want to call in, the number's on the screen, but just email me. If not, that's fine. I'm going to put respect on your name nonetheless, okay? All right, other things I want to talk about tonight. I mentioned 1090 Jake. Tory Lanez. Say it ain't so. Hold on. I know I made a goddamn a showrunner for this. If anybody wants to call in, did Tory Lanez, did he turn down a plea deal of 4 years, and then the nigga wound up getting 10? Nigga, say it ain't so. Nigga. Hang on a second. Bam, there it is in the showrunner. Tory Lanez rejected 4-year plea deal, and they hit him with a decade. Now, I'm not sure how much time he's going to do, and I don't give a goddamn. I think Tory Lanez shot in the direction of Megan Thee Stallion. Whether he shot her or not, I don't know. That's a very touchy thing. No, she stepped on glass. No, it was bullet fragments. But okay, whatever. That coconut ass nigga and his father, what is his father's name? I forget, Troll Baby. So one of those niggas is Daystar and somebody else is Morning Star. His father's some type of goddamn minister. Did he turn down a 4-year deal? This is according to Vlad TV and a few other sources. He could have been home in 2. All right, phone lines open, as I said, and a little bit later, in case, you guys care, the United States government is supposedly investigating. There's a new smartphone. What's going on with the new smartphone, folks? I got a Droid here. I tried an iPhone years ago. It was too much for me. I just, I'm too much shit. And the Droid that I have now is a 20-something Ultra. There's times when I can't even understand a lot of the functionality. And for anybody who has my number, already, I say, do not send me links and images to my phone. I don't want to be connected to everybody. I have an app that literally blocks people from sending me images and links on my phone. But anyway, the U.S. government supposedly is investigating some type of new Chinese smartphone. Now, I think that most Americans are sheep. That's just a fucking fact. 85%, the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. And they don't care. If it's got the new technology, all the fancy shit, they will buy it, use it. And that's why we have so many people on TikTok knowing good and goddamn well that we're being monitored and no one cares. But you can call in about that if you like, the smartphone a little bit later, okay? Area code 272, good evening. It's Thursday. I'm here to kick in Brother Plates.
What's going on, Star?
Back, yes, sir.
What's going on, Star?
How are you, sir?
First thing I'm going to get to is the phone situation. If people paid attention, it'll go back years ago because they brought that up in the election with Obama. And the thing about it was China was making these phones, and they were saying, hey, you could come over here and get a phone that's unlocked.
Right.
Then you go into somebody else getting a phone that's locked and making payments on it. They was cutting the prices down.
Right.
So now they trying to block China out from doing it because a lot of people do that. A lot of people go buy them phones, whether iPhone, Samsung phone, whatever, they unlock. They can go to any service and get the phone on and saving money. Then you telling me I got to pay you $1,000 on a finance plan, right, to pay off the phone, but I can go to China and order me a phone right now for $700 and cut everything and just go to anywhere and get that phone on.
Right.
So at the end of the day, they mad about the situation, but this been going on for years. Y'all had to find out some way how to cut China out of it. And China was making millions and millions of dollars because people are buying them phones over China and putting it on any service.
Yeah. If I can jump in for a second, and I'm agreeing with you. Most Americans are looking for a bargain, a sale, free shit, So if China, and I don't doubt what you're saying, is offering these phones at a much cheaper price, and of course the U.S. government wants to try and find a way to tax everything. Is it worth the risk of getting a new Chinese smartphone and them having access to your information? That phone can monitor everything in the goddamn room. You know that, yes? You do know that.
Well, then what I would say this, in one way, yes, because you're still saving money, right? But then you got to look at Apple. Because remember, when Apple first came out, nobody had the Apple phone but Verizon.
Right.
The Apple went and branched out. Verizon they should have said, no, we not letting y'all branch out to nobody, and Verizon would have been making all the money off the Apple phones.
But sir, I'm talking about a privacy matter. Is it worth the risk? This new smartphone coming out of China, is it worth getting the deal, avoiding the overhead and some of these goddamn mobile service providers? They want you. Honestly, they want you to pay for that phone on a plan. They don't even want you to pay for it outright. No, we want to break it up in payments. Is it worth the privacy risk?
If you ain't doing that, you ain't got no business on the phone, it's still worth it. I put it like that. It's still worth it because you're still saving money. And at the end of the day, you ain't got to worry about paying these big companies for paying for the phone. Your phone is paid off. You can go to any company and just get that phone on for like $50 or $60 a month.
Okay.
So it's worth it. It depended on the person's finances and stuff like that. Okay. And as far as the publishing to me, Mark Curry, it's not worth it to me. It's less. Only way it's worth it is only going to be worth it to certain artists, right? But you got to look at it. I'm pretty sure Diddy giving it back because he done made all the money off them publishing. So now only certain artists might make a little bit of money off the spins and stuff like that. So you got to look at it. How much is that publishing worth? So you look at Mace. Mace probably could still make money off the publishing. But if you ain't making top dollars,
right,
then it's not worth it.
Right.
Because you got to think about it. Mace probably going to make a year of that publisher. He might get $300,000, $400,000, right? But you got to look at all them other artists like Jada Kiss and all them other. They only had the Benjamins, all about the Benjamins, right?
Right.
So you got to look at, Diddy made all his money off of them songs already, right? So now All he doing is saying, "Hey, I give it to y'all because I made my money now. Now you get your publishing back. You gotta hope you get the spins on the radio, right? You gotta hope that you know what I'm saying?
Streaming. We're somewhere else now. And also, hold on a second, sir. Where are you from?
Me, I'm from Jersey.
Okay. Never mind what you've heard me say about me and Diddy being cool. Tonight, let's go there. If you feel in your heart of hearts Diddy is a fucking snake, say Star, your man is a snake and he been robbing people. If that's what you feel.
No, honestly, he's a snake. He's a snake. He's been robbing artists for years. Because think about it, the Lock's been wanting they publisher for years. Remember, he wanted to. Remember, Kid said it. We had to come up with $2 to $3 million to get our publishing back. And then he said, I'm gonna give you guys your publisher. That's a big deal. Now, back in the days, yes, it had been.
Sir, I have to jump in one more time. Pardon me. Never mind the Locks. Pam from Total was working in White Castle, my nigga, after all those Total hits. Do you know this?
Yes, I got what you say.
No. Pam.
Me personally.
Sir, Pam from Total, the group, she was working in White Castle, my niggas, slinging murder burgers on the grill. Let me hear you say, Star,
deep right there.
Your man is a fucking snake. Come on, let's go there, my nigga. I'm trying to go there.
No, he definitely is definitely a fucking snake because all you trying to do is trying to give these people back their publisher. Nah, you should break them off checks. Give them back their publisher and break them off checks because you made a lot of money off these publishers. So
Yeah.
I look at it like this. You going to give them their publisher back? Cut them a check also. But we know how he do. He's a grimy ass dude. You ain't doing nothing for the people. He making it seem like he's
sleepovers with Usher.
doing nothing for the people. You made yours already. Think about it.
Right.
Think about all his artist publisher he had.
Yeah.
You made millions off these publishers.
Yeah.
Now you want to give it back to him?
Yeah.
Nah.
Black Rob looked crazy in the last year of his life. Did you see Black Rob? He was like, the last time he performed, whoa. The nigga looked crazy. He looked dressing like a 16-year-old, man. I felt bad for him because he was a great guy. You know, did you see him?
But I'm listen. Like I said, I feel like what he doing, it may sound good. He giving people back their publishing. Some people can use that money. You know what I'm saying? But I think he should cut them checks too. Cut them all the checks.
Gotcha.
Give them the publishing back and cut them checks.
Okay.
And as far as Tory Lanez, I can understand that. I don't understand why he didn't take the plea deal, but I can understand it because me personally, I think he only took it to trap
because he's a hoe ass nigga, sir.
But
sir.
And now
he's a hoe ass nigga. He's non-FBA, and he shot at that FBA queen. Fuck that nigga. But go ahead and finish up. Go ahead.
But I would say that I think the thing why he went to trial and he didn't take the plea deal because I think he thought he could beat the trial,
right.
But at the end of it, it was more about him getting deported. It was more about him getting deported.
Fuck him. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you for the call. Okay. Folks, I'm going in tonight. Come on. Never mind Diddy being my guy. Has Diddy been out here snaking niggas? Troll babies, did you know that Pam from Total was working the fries at White Castles in Jersey? Nigga, we pulled up to the drive-thru one night, me and Buck Wild. I said, yo, is Pam back there? And they said, yeah, who just? I said, tell us, I forget what name I said, Malika, some old stupid name. She came out and said, hey, what's up? Oh my God. Is Diddy a snake? Troll babies. They're saying stop, don't do that. Don't get scared. Don't get pussy on me tonight. Phone lines are open right now. Talking about a few topics. And guys, Devious J has got a brand new video. Devious J. Going to be posting that tomorrow morning. And any other sponsors who want to call in, tonight is a great night. I am here to kick in the back of Brother Polight once again. Peace to King Simon. I spoke to him earlier. I was going to post a video in my community section of Red Pill. Salute to Red Pill, Blue Pill, great guys. But I didn't want to send trolls over to their platforms. Red Pill was breaking it down about, him and a couple of other people, trying to expose Brother Polight years ago. And he was getting a lot of kickback and friction and things like that, Is it Alencia? Am I saying your name right? Thank you so much, Alencia. Okay. All right, you hate my guts, but you just sent me a donation. Well, thank you, baby. Thank you. You see, I can appreciate that. You don't have to fuck with me, but send that Skrilla in here. Send that Skrilla, and I, that's what I do. I stirred the pot. Guys, Mark Curry, did he ever put out an album? I don't think so. Wasn't he on Biggie's second album, or did he write songs? Mark Curry. If anybody would know if the publishing ain't worth shit, it would be Mark Curry. And where's Goo? Goo, where are you, man? Do you want to call in, break this down? I'd love to have another conversation with the homie Goo. Hold on. Trying to get him to go live on YouTube. Let's bring in area code 770. Good evening. I'm kicking in Brother Polight's back. The nigga is defiant, delusional, and out of pocket. Are you there? 770.
Yes, sir, Star. What's going on?
How are you, sir? What's cracking?
Yeah, man. Hey, that dude is way defiant, man. It's crazy, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, this guy's trying to curate his prison image from prison to make it look like he's out and he's just chilling. He's nothing but Oswald Bates. You remember Oswald Bates from In Living Color?
Somewhat, sort of. That's that whole, I don't remember. No, actually, I don't. Go ahead. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. The Damon Wayans used to play this character that was in prison and using all these crazy words, these big words.
Right,
that's Brother Polight.
There you go. Yes, I remember now. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's Brother Polight, man. That's him all day. And he got these people on the internet believing, well, is he locked up? What do you mean? You could just go check the website, man. Like, a lot of people are gullible, man. But yeah, that guy's, for him to be doing that, he's really disrespecting the fucking, I'm sorry. He's disrespecting the,
Did Brother Polight scam you, sir? Out of any money, out of any PayPal?
Nah. Nah, I'm not going for that.
Do you know anybody who has allegedly been scammed? This attorney, Ike, I think it's Ike. I've seen her before a couple of years ago. Al Shabazz, going hard in the paint. She did a great live earlier and breaking down a lot of legal terms. There's a banner in my community section, and there may be some type of class action suit that can be put together now. I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, I never heard of that attorney. I mean, only recently I heard of her, from you. But shit, now I don't know anybody that got scammed from him, man. He was definitely not scamming me for sure. But I know him from back in the day in Harlem and shit like that. That's where I know him from.
Brother Polight?
Those debates.
You know him from Harlem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, those debates we used to have on the streets and stuff like that.
Well, listen, sir, never mind Star. Let's go balls deep tonight. Pause. Let's go balls deep. If you saw Brother Polight on 125th Street, he had the mojo popping. The debates, right?
Yeah, the three dudes.
Charisma.
Stuff like that.
Charisma, nigga riding around in the fucking Wraith. Ooh, huh?
Yeah, he had the presentation down pat.
Ooh, author of 90 books. I couldn't find no fucking 90 books nowhere. But this nigga has been convicted of touching a baby. Come on, man. Give him some smoke. Let's go.
Yeah. Touching babies and shit like that. He need his skull caved in, man. I hope they beat his ass in jail. Yeah. Straight up.
I hope somebody puts his ankles behind his neck. But I appreciate the call, man. Thank you.
All right, stop. Bless.
Yes, sir. Bless. Don't worry about the algorithm tonight, folks. I have to really I have to try and do some work here tonight, some charity work, Brother Polight. As I said, he's been respectful to me. He even posted a video of me talking about him on his IG page last month. And, I just... After seeing the black hustlers over the decades, I had a feeling about him. I remember a video with Brother Polight. He's sitting there and he's talking to PayPal customer service, and he's talking that flashy, jiggy shit. And he's got one of his wives sitting there, and the PayPal account is in her name, and he's using all that highfalutin, vocabulary. Speaking to the family, peace, family. But when he got in front of that Caucasian judge, buck dancing, bucking and clucking. So I'm going in tonight. I don't respect that at all. Area code 407, good evening. Kicking in Brother Polight's back. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I want to touch on a few topics. Let's start with Diddy. I know that's your man and all, but
never mind who's my man, sir. This is the objective perspective. Let's go there.
So I think Diddy's trying to do a couple things. He's dropping a new album soon. He's investing into to support Black initiatives.
Right.
He's giving back publishing. Something's going on with him. He's not an idiot. He's trying to be a martyr, trying to do a couple of things. I don't know. I think maybe he's hearing from the grapevine something's going on, so he's trying to do his best. But I think his best iteration was when he dressed up as the Joker a few years ago, because he's a clown, man. Diddy's a clown. He did a good job too. But I also want to touch on the China ban on the phones.
Well, before we get to the China ban, two questions because I want to go there tonight. Number one, does Barack Obama like boy pussy? Random question.
Does he like what?
Boy pussy. Did you see the video with the guy who claims he was with Barack Obama? They were doing coke. If not, just say no, and I'll keep it pushing.
I don't know, but I heard his wife used to be a man, so first lady.
Second question.
Possibly.
Is 1090 Jake a fucking rat? Did you see the paperwork in my community section?
No, I haven't seen that star. My bad. I know you said downloading it, but
when you get time, please just take a look because by 9 a.m. it's going to be gone. Okay, so you want to talk about the phones? Go ahead. Smartphones, China. What do you want to chime in, sir? Please go ahead.
Yeah, so actually China banned iPhones from their government. So the government, people who are in their government can't use iPhones. That was actually today.
Okay.
They did that. And so the Apple stock dropped by like 200 billion. And so yeah, I think there's a little mix up there. I think China's the one who banned the Apple phones, and also ZTE and Huawei a few years ago were banned by Trump.
Okay.
Over security policies and stuff like that. So
yeah,
I think
Trump wanted TikTok banned. Trump was not fucking with TikTok. That was my guy. 4 or 5. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should ban TikTok. TikTok's fucking all the kids up, man.
Yeah.
Messing everything up. So yeah, I don't know. I think China's looking to put a dent in our market too, because obviously Apple's one of our biggest companies. I'm not really a fan of Androids, but those are Chinese made.
Yeah. So
I mean, I don't know. I think we definitely need to check them all for security for sure.
Okay.
But also, I think it's fucked up that Meg put Tory Lanez in jail. I know you say he's a fuckboy, but she could have sued him, took all his money.
Sir, she's gonna sue him if she's smart. And Tory Lanez was discharging a firearm, sir. He's been convicted.
He did.
If he wasn't discharging the firearm, he should have took the stand, made a statement or something. But now, hang on a second. If you're a Tory Lanez fan, I have no problem with that. Was he offered a 4-year plea deal? Because he got 10 years. Was he offered a 4-year plea deal? That's what Vlad TV and a few other sources are saying.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that actually a few months ago.
Okay.
I heard he declined that, thinking he was going to beat the case.
Yeah, well, he didn't.
I mean, I
figured he
wasn't-
didn't beat the case.
but-
He should have took the 4-year plea deal, and I'm saying, fuck that nigga. But go ahead and finish up, please. Go ahead.
Nah, that's it, man. I appreciate you, Star. I hate when you don't go live, man. Just, makes my day when you go live. So I
Okay.
appreciate you, man.
Thank you, sir.
And I sent some Skrilla over, man. You have a good night.
Yes, sir. Salute. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Goo sent me a text saying he's moving, shaking, and popping. He's going to try and call in shortly. Mark Curry. Does he know what he's talking about, or is he disgruntled? What was going on with Mark Curry after the bad boy heyday? Was he out there slinging that powder? Slinging krills? What was he doing to stay afloat? I mean, I'm not trying to assassinate his character in any way, shape, or form, but he looks like he's been through it, The check-in report, I got your donation. Thank you so much. He says, Brother Polight scammed me, Star. He actually made me Google if he writes 90 books. I found nothing. The check-in report, his banner is in my community section. Subscribe to his page. Big Eye Key tapping in. Good to hear from you, sir. He says, Diddy always been a POS. Biggie's daughter. Okay, I don't know that for certain. It's alleged. Biggie's daughter said it, and his mom's. Pac said it, and Mad Artist. LOL. Every rapper under him leaves broke and to religion. Yeah. J. Depp was a great guy, man. At one point, he was living in my old hometown, Scotch Plains, New Jersey. I think he was trying to kick his dust habit at the time because Scotch Plains was a very nice area, And he turned himself in. He couldn't live with the fact that he shot someone. I'm not sure if the person died. I forget, but yeah. And over the years, we've been talking about the bad boy curse. A lot of people have wound up broke or went to prison. Loon. Remember Loon, guys? Loon went to prison. The nigga found Allah. Thank you, Big Aki. Also says, and Polight has always been a spaceship. Ooh. Nostrils-shaped piece of shit. And how were people getting scammed by this tether nigga? Hope they spit in that nigga's food. Well, I'm sure he'll be in protective custody, but if not, somebody will probably spit in his booty and thrust him. Pause. That was crazy. RC from the 315 says, Boss Hog, salute Mark Curry is super washed and broke. That's it. That's the donation. Well, listen, we can chop it all up. But to my knowledge, he was a writer, a pretty strong writer back in the bad boy days. Did he ever put out an album, guys? Mark Curry, I don't remember one. Did he put out an independent album? Hey, Spirit, I see you, sir. Do you want to call in and do some promoting? Spirit's Smooth Tunes. Hold on a second, guys. Let me respond to him. I see you in the live chat. Do you want to call in? If so, just let me know what area code you're calling from. John Blaze. Okay, let's get John Blaze on the line so he can talk that talk. Area code 415. John Blaze, are you there, sir, on a Thursday? Good evening.
John Blaze on the check-in.
Good. Yes,
I just
sir.
wanted to perhaps try to give some context in terms of what the topic is with the moderator as the United States is investigating China. And it actually, I'm not trying to sound like Mr. Know-It-All, but it actually falls in line from 2018 by her name is Bing Wangzhu. She was the chief financial officer for, I believe it's Huawei.
Okay.
The previous caller brought that to our attention, which he did an excellent job doing his best trying to explain what's going on. But she was detained at the request of the United States in 2018, I believe, in Canada, to which she was the CEO of the Chinese manufacturing cell phone company, Huawei. So this then prompted China to have accusations against Canadians who were detained in China in retaliation. Now you move forward. The reason why the United States have a concern with China is the fact that we're already trying to choke them out of the manufacturing market with regards to semiconductors, and that's the relation with Taiwan, since they are the leaders in semiconductors, to which we are supporting when that war comes, defending that country of Taiwan. Now, Huawei has now created its own operating system to replace the Android and smartphones. Now, as the previous caller mentioned, to which he was correct, Trump went ahead and I believe in 2022 or 2021, stopped anyone ability to use a Chinese manufactured phone, which was Huawei, in the United States. You see, so when we look at the investigation now is how did China become so advanced in making these chips for phones, to which now they would have their own Google Maps. We got to remember, when the phone was allowed in the United States, we were not allowed to use Google Maps or GPS technology on that phone. So in 2022, Trump banned it right along with TikTok and others. But the United States is seeking more, and it's seeking more information about Huawei. And it's called the Mate 60 Pro, which is a Chinese smartphone that is powered by an advanced chip. Now, once China start having the ability to start getting into the market, which is semiconductors and chip manufacturing, then y'all black ass got some problems.
If I can jump in for a second, John Blaze, if I can just add this, and the spelling of Huawei is Huawei, yes? That's how you spell it? Okay. So yes, they unveiled the Mate 60 Pro smartphone last month, and it did not include any information about the chip that you're speaking about. So so this is a concern because they have advanced the technology, and the average consumer may think it's so easy. I love the functionality, but it's a high level tracking device. Yes?
Exactly. Yeah. And that's correct. And I think some of the callers don't understand the ramifications behind China's ability to have technology in the United States, which would compromise things such as the NSA, things such as the resources we depend on to continue our individual lifestyle in this country. So if China has the ability to go ahead and tap into a particular market, that means that we're going to compromise a particular security in this country. So while Negroes want to say, well, hey, I love the phone. Well, hey, I love TikTok and I love all these cute devices, but they don't realize that it's going to come to a price, and that price is going to come when war starts. You see what I'm saying? Yep. That price is going to come when they'll be able to go ahead and shut down power grids because of your goddamn cell phone. So if China had the access of an employee who worked at a particular grid or PG&E or someone who powered your goddamn lights, that means that they went ahead and sent his ass a link to which they was able to submit a virus to shut down a grid. So now the Negro is saying that I'm no longer happy with the cell phone because it no longer works. What's going on? That means that you either got two things. You either going to step on board with the United States and our global positioning with returns of the South China Seas, Taiwan, India, and throughout the Indo-Pacific. You Negroes better go and get yourself an education and understand our global positioning, because fuck all your goddamn enjoyment of a goddamn TikTok or your goddamn YouTube, because when it comes down to the soon in the next 2 to 3 years, United States and China, to which we already see Russia and North Korea joining hands, We're going to see a little bit of different of a lifestyle that you're going to have when your black ass wake up and there's no running water or electricity running your goddamn house and there's a bomb flying over your goddamn head. You're no longer going to worry about a goddamn cell phone.
Can I say this?
I'm not trying to hold you up. I just wanted to give you some
No,
context.
hang on. If I can just say this. If I can say this, John Blaze. I think that most people do know about the tracking. I think that they welcome the little cute little, I know where you are, my friend, or their spouse. I don't think that they care about the tracking. I think that the newer generation, that's how they function in life. To them, it's the norm. People like myself and you, we still have a sense of privacy. But the newer generation is born into the matrix. You know, texting, emojis, pictures. If you say to someone, a younger person, hey, please don't send images and links to my phone, they're like, why not? So
you hit on the nail.
It's a new generation, and I think that they don't care about the privacy. But go ahead and finish up, please. Take your time.
And I want to end it on that note. You are correct. They don't care about the privacy up until that particular moment to which your privacy is going to compromise your own individual living standard.
Right.
You see, but I really do believe that the sacrifice, when we talk in terms of our individual freedoms, it goes back to our Constitution. Once we get these little young Negroes understanding an American Constitution, then you will be able to have an objective opinion on these devices and on these material things. But John Blaze is going to hold you up. I love the conversation, man.
Thank you, man.
You know, I'm out.
Thank you, John Blaze. Thank you. Okay. Guys, is anybody having issues with Cash App? Is anyone having issues with Cash App? I tried to send someone a Cash App earlier, and it still says pending. If you guys are sending Cash Apps, I'm not seeing them. Crime Skills, I got your email, sir. Thank you for tapping in. Crime Skills says John Blaze is on point with his knowledge. 1,000. Thank you, Crime Skills. Hey, Marty. Oh, thank you very much, Marty. She's taking a shot, but she sent a nice donation. Thank you so much. Guys, at the top of the live chat is also the PayPal link where you can support the show, okay? And you can hit the like button if you would be so kind, all right? Also, guys, in my community section, again, Aikisha Al-Shabazz, that's the attorney, college professor, author, an agent for justice. If you have been scammed by Brother Polight, reach out to her. I think I might want to change my title. Have you been scammed by Brother Polight? GOKIZA, I get your donation. Oh, Cash App is down? What the fuck? That's what it is. 105 fam. People are trading their freedom because of fear and comfort. It's looking bad. I agree. Let me bring in somebody from Bridgeport, Connecticut. Area code 203. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Star, how you doing? Hey, I just wanted to comment on your boy who just commented about China.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I think he's got that all wrong, man. All countries use surveillance, spyware, all that. All countries do that back and forth. That's neither here nor there. What it is China's trying to China's trying to build the new Silk Road. All China wants to do is become the world economic leader. They don't want war. They're not trying to get China's using Russia as their spearhead. All China's trying to do is establish themselves as the leader of the new Silk Road. They don't want war. America's pushing that. America does not want to fall. You see the petrodollar's in trouble. You see what Brinks is doing. Well, you see with them, they're putting gold behind their money. their currency. And America can't have that. If America does that, if America loses that position as the world reserve currency, you know what that means for you, me, and every other citizen. China does not want war. The last thing China wants is war. They're just, again, just to reiterate, they just want to establish themselves as the leader of the new Silk Road. Okay. And you know, you're a man.
If I can jump in for a second, sir, I appreciate your call. Well, let's not say that John Blaze is wrong. You feel different, but you don't necessarily know what China wants, or you're not Chinese. And I have studied the Chinese dynasties, over the decades. China may not see war as how we see war or how we have been programmed to think about war, but dominating the world by way of economics, that could be a war to them. So you're saying that China wants to do business with us and it's all love? Are you saying that? I don't think that's right.
No. I'm not saying. What China wants is to establish themselves as a world economic leader, like America.
Yes,
has,
sir.
Like
dominance.
Position.
Dominance.
Yes, of course.
Dominance.
Of course.
Yeah.
The same way the United States has. But the United States wants, instead of
so that everyone else, hang on, I'm gonna let you speak. So that everyone else falls to the feet of China. You see, it doesn't have to be a war. Planes and ships and all that old shit. It's a new type of war, sir. It's an economic war, sanctions and other things, chemical warfare. And I don't even want to talk about that. But if I can pull the rug from up under your feet, and I'm speaking in layman's terms, if I can pull the rug from up under your feet and have you bow to my ideology, my philosophy, my intellect, and follow my business lead, then I've got you. I don't have to fucking kill you. You've now become a part of my greatness or our great culture. Go ahead.
There you go. Agreed. There you go. Pretty much what the United States has done for the last 100 years. Pretty much what they have done. The only difference is China is willing to work with other countries. America has positioned themselves on the wrong side of history, even in Ukraine. Even with labeling Russia the bad guys in that war in Ukraine, we're on the wrong side of history in this. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna end with this: if World War III breaks out, the United States will go down as the agitator in that. And I'm gonna leave you with that.
No, stay with me. I respect what you're saying, sir. Don't hang up. Are you there? You there?
I'm still with you.
Okay. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just trying to, comb through this with you. And I'm definitely not saying John Blaze is wrong. I respect his intellect above everything else. World War III, anybody talking about war in the traditional sense does not have an understanding of where society is now or where technology is. I mean, Russia could have dealt with Ukraine differently. I think they're fighting a traditional war, but China's not going to play that game with us. They don't have to. They're sending in TikTok, and they've got brand new devices. And we as consumer-driven Americans, we want the bullshit. So there's no need. There's no need to send in the goddamn planes, atomic bombs, and the fucking military. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes perfect sense.
I'll let you finish up. You have the last word. Go ahead.
I'm gonna close with this.
Go ahead.
If the United States keeps backing the Ukraine, 200,000 Ukrainians have died so far. Yeah. 200,000. They won't tell you that in mainstream media. 200,000 Ukrainians. They don't have any more soldiers to fight. So NATO's going to have to. The Western world is going to have to, at some point, if they keep this conflict up, they're going to have to introduce soldiers. That means soldiers from the States, soldiers from Europe. They're going to have to introduce. Ukraine is losing this war miserably. And the United States and the Western world is willing to fight to the last Ukrainian.
Okay.
And I'm in with that. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Yep.
Folks, if you call into the show, I want you to speak and I want you to land your plane. You will get the last word. I'm just a dumb dropout, but I enjoy having these conversations. But I want to stay focused on Michael Noak. He referred to himself as Noak. We've been saying Noak. Anybody catch that in the live chat? When he stood there in front of the Caucasoid, he was talking, Michael Noak. And I said, is that an audio issue? Was there some type of glitch? He said, Noak. Bucking and clucking for O'Fay, huh? But yet and still, when he gets up on social media, he's, nigga damn near doing the sturdy. Huh? Mr. Lee, I got your email. Star, I've been freaking out all day, but there is finally an update. Go into App Store. Sorry I ain't doing all that shit right now, but thank you for your email. What is going on with Cash App? Goo, are you calling in? So where is Goo? Okay, Big Eye Key tapped in. Big Eye Key says, peace, big nigga. Unless I heard what caller said wrong, China is literally gearing up for Taiwan. Yeah, they've been gearing up for Taiwan. I thought they were going to shoot down somebody's plane last year. Well, was it Kamala Harris? I thought they were going to shoot her plane down. China's with the shits. Quote Baby says, former President Barack Obama liked boy pussy. I'm on that type of time tonight. That's an old story. And what is going on with I don't even want to say his name, but why are they interviewing this guy now? Oh my goodness! Again, he's already come out and said this. Tucker Carlson must be scraping the bottom of the barrel, huh? Blade, I got your email. Thank you so much. I want to make sure I'm promoting my sponsors tonight as well. Hang on a second, guys. I want to continue the conversation about Diddy and publishing. But right now, let me promote one of my sponsors, susglobalenterprises.com. And I've got some bullet points I'm going to read to you guys shortly. That's a great new firm that can help you with security guard training, personal protection. Check them out. Please tell them I sent you. You can get a consultation. They can help you, okay? We all need security in today's day and time. That's a fact. Let's go to area code 512. Good evening, 512. Were you scammed by Brother Polight? Did you wire him money?
No, sir, I was not. No, I wasn't scammed. To be honest, I'm not surprised, unfortunately, how this has played out. I think that, he definitely was eager.
Sir, are you in a bathhouse? Your phone sounds crazy. Where are you? Please make the adjustments.
My bad, Star. Is that better?
There you go. How are you, sir? You have the floor. Go ahead.
Already. Yeah, man, I hate it for the victim involved, but honestly, I thought that guy was egotistical for the longest, so I'm not surprised that he stepped over the line and thought that, he was on top of the world and he could probably just get away with anything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So on that note, as far as what the...
Well, now, hang on a second. Stay with me on Brother Play for a second because, we're going to talk about China and the smartphone, yada, yada, yada. Do you think Brother Polight had a taste for boy pussy? I mean, these guys that are leading cults, narcissists.
I would hope not.
What's that?
I would hope not. I mean, I think he just probably went off the deep end with the drugs. He probably got some kind of messiah complex in his head. And unfortunately, that young woman was.
Well, sir, we don't know about drugs. Hold on. We don't know about drugs, but the the cult that he has been running, so to speak, using the HOK, House of Consciousness, and other things. Very defiant, arrogant, and
absolutely.
He's been
He's
sat
in charge of the
down.
cult.
He's been sat
He
down.
probably had some weird, twisted fantasy in his head that, maybe he was grooming this young lady to be his future bride and all this kind of crazy stuff. I'm willing to bet that his egotistic, like his ego and arrogance has took him to the next level to where he crossed the line and, he put himself back to 1,000 years ago, and all of a sudden this is a harem, and, that particular or other young women perhaps, he was grooming them to be his future wives probably even. Something weird and crazy like that probably happened. Psychologically in his head.
Sir, I'm out there tonight. Hear me out, please. Hear me out. I want to talk about these cult leaders and how, they're looking for, young, untampered, vessels. Young, untampered vessels. And I've already spoken
They
about...
looking for young...
Hang on, sir. Hang on. I've let you speak. Let me speak. When it comes to planting their seeds, they're looking for fertile soil. But if they have other fetishes, then they're looking for just a young vessel. That's why you had Dr. York with, his fetish for boys, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, and other people. It's not just young girls, man. It's that whole God complex,
The Dalai Lama.
Well, we
Throw
saw
him under the bus.
We saw the Dalai Lama put his tongue in the mouth of a minor. Fucking disgusting, But now, what do you think? Do you think that Brother Polight, let's kick his back in. Do you think that there's a boy somewhere that's gonna pop up? Come on.
Nah, I don't. I honestly don't think that. I would be easy. Like, I would just be shocked if that came out to be true. But I don't.
Why would you be shocked? Why? Why, sir? Why would you be shocked? I've just told you about other cult leaders. Why would you be shocked?
Once again, I don't know Brother Polight. I only know him from the internet. So, just the complex or vibe that I get from that, he don't strike me as somebody that was out here messing with boys. But I could be wrong. Yeah.
You ever heard of Nature Boy?
But
You ever heard of Nature Boy?
that nigga came off as, like, a little fruitcake. Like, that's part of his vibe.
No, sir. You didn't know until he got caught. Until Nature Boy got caught, and there was video footage, and he was making gay porn to eat. He never admitted to that. When he got exposed by a young Pharaoh, I think it was young Pharaoh, somebody exposed him. He then sat in front of that camera and he admitted that was him making that gay porn. I'm not trying to be silly here, sir. I'm trying to kick in the back of Michael Noak. Are you a fan of his? What's going on?
No, absolutely not. I hope that they put that nigga on the main line. Don't let him PC up.
Okay. Go ahead, sir. You have the floor. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And as far as America's socialist policies are basically just coming to bite us in the butt. From the Airbnb situation in New York that you spoke on briefly yesterday with them bringing regulations,
yes,
they're fettering fair trade. And just for everyone to know, Star is right. The existential wars, like what's going on in Russia and Ukraine, that's more or less obsolete. The iPhones, that's the thing that we already know. I work in cybersecurity.
Oh, do you?
So it's something called
Go ahead.
It's something called embedded hardware security. So these are like HSM modules.
Talk about it.
So basically a semiconductor, it comes pre-programmed, right?
Talk about it.
So with everything being in the cloud, like YouTube, our phones having semiconductors, some of our refrigerators even have an IP address now, which means they have a Wi-Fi card.
Yeah.
A lot of those semiconductors come from China, so they can program it and put spyware on them that sends our information back to. So this is something that's been going on for at least 15 years. If anyone is interested in getting into cybersecurity, just look for jobs called embedded security engineering. Those jobs pay $160 and up, just to focus on semiconductor security.
Yeah.
So I just want to definitely, speak on that.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah,
a frontier war, and I'll land my plane there.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the knowledge. Thank you.
Already.
Yes, sir. Already. Folks, I'm here to go in on Brother Polight with no Vaseline and no condom. I'm not saying pause. Gotta get that pause shit. In my community section, can someone please reach out to attorney Aikisha Al-Shabazz? See if there's any way that a class action lawsuit can be formulated. Can this be filed while he's in prison? And then when it comes time for him to go in front of some type of goddamn board, hold on a second, some type of board to see about getting probation, and then they have the involuntary commitment, which he agreed to be subject to. They get then to analyze this nigga to see if he's a threat to the public. Maybe we can get him handcuffed. Wouldn't that be something when he gets, after he does the 7 years or the 85%, when he gets out and then he goes into the, whatever you call the home, and then the lawsuit, some type of RICO case, the feds come in, arrest him, pow, back into the penitentiary. Did you listen to what the judge said? The judge didn't say if you get convicted of a crime. He said if you get arrested, get him on some RICO charges, Break the nigga down like penicillin. Mike Mongo got your donation via PayPal. Thank you, sir. He says, Star, most artists don't know how to leverage their publishing. Diddy knows this. You can always make money off of publishing if you know the business. Okay. I would say you're right, sir. I would say you're right. But I also want to say this, and this is probably the only thing I'm going to say tonight from the position of a music industry boss, so to speak, because again, I've worked at the labels for decades before you ever heard of me on radio. It's not my business to teach you business. I've been saying that for decades. Let me say it again. It's not my business to teach you business. I don't fuck with artists in terms of consultate. Well, I do consultations, but not for if you're trying to figure things out by way of who stole from you. Nobody told me. Get a lawyer. Have the lawyer explain to you what it is that you're signing so that you don't, get your money or get some money, run through it, don't pay your taxes, don't file your taxes, and then start crying, yo, I got robbed. No, you didn't get robbed. You're a dumb fuck. But you're right, sir. Most artists don't know how to leverage their publishing. But whose fault is that? You've now got this mobile device at your fingertips. I didn't have this when I was coming up. I was born in 1964. All throughout the 70s and the 80s, you know my story. My mother was hard on me. A vicious Italian fucking woman. I couldn't even call her sometimes unless I knew she was going to ask me, what are you reading? And I had to say, I'm reading William Gibson, Neuromancer. Anything, I had to have an answer. So to your question and your donation, thank you again, Mike Mongo. Whose fault is that if you don't understand publishing? Okay. The nigger sends in a donation. Star, let's be real. FBA takes another L. Is Polight FBA? What about Chris Kidd? Is he FBA? Is this divisive shit? But look at these FBA sick fucks. Brother Polight is some type of African. Yes, no troll babies? He's some type of spear chucker. If I'm not mistaken, that's fucked up. That's old. That's that old shit. Isn't he some type of spear chucker? Give me a second. You sent it a donation. Where's that nigga from? Zimbabwe? Is he a Nigerian Crip? As far as Chris Kidd, fuck that nigga. I worked with the feds to put him away. In case you don't know. I helped that bum ass nigga. He came out with that song Message to Machiavelli. I'm promoting him on the Star Chamber. Nigga got his little YouTube channel and started talking greasy. I said, well, would you look at this? Caught the nigga slipping one day. I said, uh-oh, let me download this file. I work with police. That's a fact. Google Snitch Network 2011. Philly. I lined that nigga up. Out of here, Chris Kipper. Thank you for your donation. Shad 1419 got your donation. I thought Polight was going to hit everybody with cyber defamation litigation lawsuits. Sir, that was all cap. Whenever these niggas get into a jam, yo, I'm suing people, right? Remember Charlemagne? Yo, I love suing people. Charlemagne's being sued right now by Jessica Reed. Shh. Remember Benzino? Yo, I'm suing people. Where? But thank you for your donation. Is it Mizoist? How do I say your name? Mizzo. Legit. Star, most artists don't know how to leverage their publishing. Did he? Okay. I read that one. You said that already. Thank you so much. The check-in report got that donation. All right. Let me go to Cash App, guys. If there is a Cash App issue, folks, I will read everything tomorrow. For some reason, I tried to send money earlier. I can't send any money. Cash App giving issues. Send a super chat. Okay, folks, if you sent a super chat and it didn't go through, send me the email. Let me put my email address on the screen. Here it is right here. Pow. Just say, Star, I sent in a Cash App. It's still pending, and I will read your Cash Apps, okay? Michael, I got your donation. Comment, most artists don't know. Okay, I read that one. Thank you so much, Mike Mongo. Salute to you. Is Crime Skills on the line? Hold on a second. Where my nigga? Crime Skills. Sorry for the wait, sir. Are you there? Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. It's no problem for the wait.
How are you, man?
No problem.
Good to hear from you. Where do you want to start?
I'm doing good. Let me let your audience understand this.
Come on.
America has been great to me. Okay.
Okay.
I live a life where I walk around with jobs in my back pocket, meaning I could leave one today and I'm in a next one tomorrow.
Right.
Just
right,
like that.
Right.
Now, this guy earlier that said China don't want war, yada yada yada. Let me just let black people understand this.
Right.
Anybody out there who thinks America is gonna allow some yellow people to take the lead like that without blood spill, go to church, nigga. Go to church. You feel me?
Right.
For any change or any kingdom or any new kingdom that's going to rise to lead, there has to be bloodshed.
Right.
You hear me? This little cyber warfare and economic warfare, America know these little tricks and games and all of this thing. Blood will spill. So anybody who's thinking, this and ain't no other way around it. The same way America did to Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the same thing they did to them. This is different, and people need to wake up. There's a time for love, and there's a time for hate. There's a time for peace, and there's a time for bomb-clad war. America know this. The elites that run this thing, they know this. It's just average people don't understand this thing and feel as if it's a talking thing or, oh, we could go to the negotiating table all the time. No, 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 no. War is necessary on this planet once man is in control. And man is running this planet. So there's no other way around it. America knows this. So anybody think that, oh, even the other thing he said about America being on the wrong side, it's not about America being on the wrong side. You either be the victim or the suspect, like it or not. It's not all their policy is fear, but it's a reason why we got this freedom and we live how we live. Like I said, this country has been good to me, my dude. You know what I mean? It's just a lot of these people, they just don't get it. It's like they're stiff-necked. They just don't understand this. They got to understand. It's sad to say, but it is what it is.
Hang on. Now, I hear what you're saying, and yes, that's the traditional type of war. And America is not going to sit back and watch China, assume power. The Caucasian is a master of chaos, and he will blow this planet off of the axis before he lets China take over America. In theory. But war now is different. Wouldn't you say so? I mean, we're looking at Ukraine, which is really an invasion by Russia. It's not necessarily like a war with another, country. But you're saying that we wouldn't have a technology war? What are you saying precisely?
Bodies will drop. That's all I'm saying. America, it's not gonna go down like that. I don't see it going down like that. I'm not going to have a bunch of weapons and new war aircraft carriers and all of these things in the South. You think I'm not gonna pop off? If I was in America position, I'd have been done these niggas, star. I'm not no long talking thing and back and forth. That's so it may be bad for them. They just taking too many times and playing all of these games. I could use the war in Ukraine as an example. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? The media will let you know, even the politicians will let you know subliminally, the war in Ukraine is not going to be done next year. Not the year after. So it's just people got to understand this thing. I don't even usually when John Blaze called, and I always notice something about that dude. His knowledge is. I always like to hear his perspective.
Very smart man.
I like listen.
Very smart man.
Very. Yeah.
Smart man. Yes.
And a lot of things that I'm onto, I hear he speak on it. I just stay quiet and I listen. But he know what he's talking about. It's really stemming from Huawei, that phone company. That's like the root, part of the root of what's going on, and the semiconductor. He knows what he's talking about. So people who think, oh, China don't want war, okay, we're gonna bring it to y'all niggas then. If you don't want it, we go, all right, then let's see. How you gonna get it? How you gonna lead? Just by talking and playing this game with Africa and running over there and the Silk Road? Nah, my nigga, it's not going down like that. It will not go down like that unless I'm living in a different America.
Crime Skills, if I can jump in for a second and just ask you this. So now, I'm old school, and when you talk about war, I'm thinking about Bounty Killer, Ask for War, and all type of thing by preaching, copper shot preaching. When you say war, all right? But now, what about China taking over Jamaica? I mean, you see, they're not going in with guns and shit. They're just spending money and they're buying up the place. And I spoke recently about Chinese businesses being tax exempt for 5 years. Why isn't there some type of revolution of sorts with Jamaicans against the Chinese? They're buying up the goddamn place. If what you're saying about America is true, why isn't China, or why isn't Jamaica revolting against the Chinese?
It's like this. I've had this conversation with older Jamaicans, and when we hear people saying, oh, China taking over Jamaica, we laugh. We actually clown people who thinks this shit. It's not possible without blood spill. It's just a time for everything. Let them niggas come, invest all they want. I could tell you of an incident that happened back in the 50s, and a bunch of Chinese had to run out of Jamaica and run and move into Florida. When there was a woman that was working and a Chinese businessman beat her, they have to pay. They get pressed all the time. They get extorted. Come on, Star.
Well, hang on.
Jamaica is not what these people think. It's not what the media is selling.
To be objective, now I've never been to Jamaica, and I do want to go. I've been kicking dirt on Jamaica, but I do want to at least put my eyes upon Trenchtown. I know it's different now, but I have seen video footage of Chinese factories where they won't even hire Jamaicans. They're bringing
old videos.
They're bringing in Chinese to work in these factories, and the Jamaicans can't even get jobs there. You're saying that's old? That doesn't go on there anymore?
I'm telling you, I could get people I know down there. This is propaganda.
Okay.
You can't believe everything these niggas online feeding you, Star.
Okay.
I know murderers, Star. Listen, Star, I grew up around people like it's a propaganda, Bridget.
Okay.
This is not like that's why a lot of times when these niggas hop online and talking, I just ignore them because we build different. Okay. Unfortunately, it's not all true. There's some truth to it, but a lot of it straight propaganda.
Okay.
Straight propaganda.
Okay. And before you go, I must. Did you and I speak about Flipper Mafia? Did Flipper Mafia tell because you saw Movado didn't want to touch him on the stage?
Yeah, let me tell you something, Mario.
Is Flipper Mafia a confidential informant?
Let me tell you something.
Come on.
T.I. did prison time for them guns in a facility in Forest Park, Arkansas. I've been to that. I've been to that federal facility to deliver a load. You could walk in and out. So let me tell you, Flipper. I don't care what nobody's saying. Like the hardest thing. This is what a lot of people don't understand about America prison system. Yeah. The easiest thing to do is get in prison, and the hardest thing is to get out. That's a fact. You could talk to anybody that have done hard time and hard. They will tell you that. There is no way you're gonna get what he got, 20 years or something, and then he's out in 9, and like it don't work like that. You got to do, if I'm not mistaken, 95% of the feds time, or like 95 or something like that. It's not. You got to tell. He could have told and been in a minimum security, and then it looked as if he didn't. Like they know how to play that game. Ask yourself this: why would he seek asylum in America?
Yeah.
He's out, and then from what Shorty said, he seek asylum. Why? He's a dead man walking. That's why. That's just what it is. Why? If you didn't tell, why are you seeking asylum? Go back to Jamaica.
One more question. Vybz Kartel, his appeal was denied, if I'm not mistaken, in 2020. I still keep up with dancehall to some degree. And the body of Lizard has never been found, correct? Did you ever find the body?
No, not from what no, I don't think so.
So if Vybz Kartel tells where Lizard's body is, will they let him out?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a bean with you. Please. Unfortunately, the saddest thing that a lot of Vybz Kartel fans don't want to hear is this: he's going to die in prison. That's just how he's gonna go out. I'm sorry, it hurts, and I used to I like. It's upsetting because I used to be a huge fan, like, you know, when he just came out. But you have to remember this. Vybz Kartel also upsets the hearts of the rooted conservative, foundational people that run Jamaica and have Jamaica a certain way and certain views they don't want, certain kind of like, it's more than just the killing. of Lizard. It's a lot more surrounding Vibes Cartel. It's a lot more. I don't see him coming out. I just don't. Like, unfortunately, they're going to. That's just his ending. Like, sorry to say it.
Right.
It is what it is.
Okay. Good to talk to you, sir. As always, salute. Thank you.
Respect every time.
Respect. Okay. Crime skills tapping in. For those of you who are new to the show, I was a huge dancehall supporter back throughout the entire 80s. I'm not going to go into my history, but I keep my ear on certain dancehall things. I don't talk about it too much because I know that's not my audience for the most part, but you guys ever heard of a song called Forever by Vibes Cartel? I love that song. Forever. Vibes Cartel. Whoa, I think that's Goo. Wait a minute. Goo, are you there, sir? Good evening.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
So it was good.
What's cracking, man? Hey,
all right, you can hear.
I can hear you. Goo, you are a friend of mine. I have very few friends, but you've called in on multiple occasions. You know the world of publishing and all sorts of things. I'm talking about Mark Curry. And he's saying that the bad boy publishing is worthless. You know Mark Curry's history. I'm not sure if I ever met him. Do you know Mark Curry?
I mean, I met him in the studio back in the bad boy days at Daddy's house.
Okay.
I didn't know him like that. I used to see him around the G-Dep era.
A very good writer. Didn't he write songs for Diddy on Diddy's albums?
Yeah.
The fucking writer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was
Did he ever
he got a good amount of writers.
Did he ever put out an album? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Okay. So he says
not on the bad boy.
Okay, he says the publishing is worthless. You've already called in and you spoke about your hand in getting the publishing back to the artist. Can you just refresh people's memories, or for the new people, what part did you play in getting the publishing for the bad boy artist, please?
Well, I mean, I initiated it, getting some publishing back for a group on Bad Boy. I got it. We got ours back like last year, sometime in 2022. But I mean, we known since probably like 2021. We were just trying to get the particulars straight.
Okay.
But I heard somebody call up and say about leveraging publishing and things like that. I mean, it's not like Diddy has everybody's publishing as an artist. You know what I mean? Some artists did leverage their publishing. I mean, I can give you some examples like Shine. Puff doesn't have no Shine publishing. You know what I'm saying? Because Shine was basically like, hey, I can go to Def Jam, this label, that label, because he was wanted. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So Puff is like, I want you anyway. You know, you can have your publishing. You know what I'm saying? Loon got his publishing. Puff don't have Loon's publishing.
Loon? You said Loon?
Yeah. Okay. Puff don't have Loon's publishing.
Okay.
Puff don't have French Montana's publishing. Obviously, French was hot as hell. You know what I'm saying? French is able to negotiate what he wanted from people. Everybody wanted him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not like he got everybody's publishing. You know, some people did leverage it. But then when you got somebody like G-Dep, you know what I'm saying, who doesn't have any leverage, because he can't say the same thing French said, like, oh, I want all these labels want me. You know what I'm saying? Right. He got to take the compromise contract. And just work with what it is. You know what I'm saying? And tweak it with his lawyer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, so it is what it is. And I think some other people are under the impression that when Puff got the publishing, like these guys aren't getting paid off their publishing. You know what I'm saying? It's just that he administrates 100% of the copyright of the publishing. He's allowed to bring it to administrators and get advances, and he has a piece. But you're gonna get your quarterly or biannual check too from your publishing and what shares you own under your publishing company. Okay. It's not like an 80s contract like Cold Chillin' or something where they owned 100% of the copyright and you got a royalty. You had no publishing design. You might have 50% publishing on an old contract from the 80s profile of Cold Chillin'. You didn't have a publishing. You had a royalty. You get 50% publishing. I mean 50% royalty. Yeah. But the record company, like...
Hold on a second, Goo. Stop right there. Let me just say this. Folks, I'm talking to Goo. He can help you if you are an artist, a songwriter, a producer. His email address is on the screen. This is a friend of mine. Reach out to him. I've been trying to get
Yeah,
Goo. I've been trying to get Goo to do his own YouTube platform. He says he's gonna. He says he's gonna do it soon. Okay, but reach out to.
Yeah, I
Goo.
think I'm gonna do. Go on.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna talk about the bad boy contracts.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
I'm gonna show a copy on screen. You know,
Okay,
now I'm not gonna show you which one, but I got plenty of them. But anyway,
honestly, man, don't put too much on the screen just yet. Because
yeah, I know. I'm not gonna show. You know, you're not gonna. You might just see bad boy, or that's it, and you're just gonna know that I have a bad boy contract. That's it.
Utilize,
you know what I'm saying?
Utilize your community section with regards to contracts and things. You and I will talk about this some more. But Goo can,
I'm not gonna.
Goo can help
expose
you.
anybody.
Goo can help you. Okay, so now you said that Diddy doesn't own. Or pardon me. Diddy's not giving artists the masters back. He's giving them the publishing. Why not?
Yeah, he's giving back the
Why not give some of them the masters? Mace, who's popping right now.
Okay.
Why not give him the masters?
Yeah, but this is the thing. He didn't have to give back the publishing. You see what I'm saying? Once he bought into the copyright, he's an owner. You know what I'm saying? These are favors, if anything. Honestly, like no record label, white guy, whatever, whoever gets a piece of your publishing, they don't give it back. They gave you money and they bought into the copyright.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You have your portion, I have mine. You see what I'm saying? There's no giving back no publishing. You know, it's like, so what Puff's doing is he's giving back his share that he bought. You know what I'm saying? You have a share. You might have 75%. He got 25% of all these people or something like that. He's giving back his percent. Yeah. Now you're whole. You was getting 75. You know, you was getting whatever before. Now you're getting 25% more, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever percentage. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's not like he owns it. He bought the publishing and no one got any back royalties and no one was getting any publishing royalties and things like that. Everybody was getting paid, you know, continually from the 90s to now. It's just that their percentages weren't whole because he had a portion.
If we can,
you know what I'm saying? And like I said, he doesn't have to give back nothing. There's no legally they can't take him to court. There's nothing. Any judge would be like, he doesn't have to give this back.
Right.
He's giving it back out of cut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
even if they filed a copyright termination, he would still own international portions. You know what I'm saying? He's giving it all back. You know what I'm saying? So even on a legal standpoint, if they did a copyright termination, they would only get U.S. rights back. He's giving it all back.
So with regards to Mark Curry saying that the publishing is worthless, does he have any legs to stand on, or is he respectfully?
I mean,
is he bitter?
From my experience,
is he bitter?
From my experience, I wouldn't say he's bitter. I mean, he might be bitter from what he's seeing, but I wouldn't co-sign what he says until I made it official. Okay. I mean, sorry, not to. I know more about his publishing than he does. I'm, not to have an ego about it, but that's why I am who I am in the business. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to know more than me. You know what I'm saying? At no standpoint, I ain't gotta look at your statements. I know more about your statement than you do. You know what I'm saying?
If we can,
so that's
go. If we can talk about one of these services that you provide for people, it's not just young artists coming up. You find publishing for established long-term artists who don't know that money is owed to them. Can you speak to that just a little bit? How is it that you help artists or the families of artists who may not know that there is money owed to them or that there's money that has been sitting in escrow?
Well,
please.
I mean that varies, you know what I'm saying? Because one could be estates, and the estates are inheritors. So what are they going to know? You know what I'm saying? What they inherit. You know what I'm saying? They don't know. Somebody could pass away. Somebody could say, "Oh yeah, he was unrecouped or she was unrecouped." You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know. I could send you whatever. You're in the state. You just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So my job is to evaluate that, see what the deception is, if there's any. Maybe there's none. You know what I'm saying? And I would attack that. Okay. However, but it's just that just from an artist standpoint, these people are artists, and like I said, they have a mastery in their craft on the artist side. I have a master of craft of what I do on this side. I wouldn't expect an artist to just know as much as I do in the copyrights and, years that I've been looking at this. So, I mean, like I said, these people be running hard. They're getting deceived all the time. My lawyer's not going to tell me everything. You know what I'm saying? Because to make me needy for him. My manager might not be telling me everything. He doesn't tell me when my ASCAP check comes. I mean, I knew super famous people. They had no idea when the ASCAP checks were coming. Managers are just taking tens and tens of thousands from this one person, not hundreds of thousands, matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to know all of this. This is all 101. Know your distribution dates. Know how many pay accounts you're supposed to receive. There's like little laws that you sign with the PROs, and you got to know what those laws are, because if you register a song late, they might not want to pay you, but they got your money. You know what I'm saying? Or they can get your money, but they might say, oh, you can only go back a year and a half, but this record came out 3 years ago, and now you're going to get more the relevant side of the money. It's not what you know, it's how you say it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's like how the doors open a lot of times. You know what I'm saying?
If I can ask you this, Run DMC was not signed to Def Jam. They were signed to Rush Management, but they were signed to Profile back in the days, and they were trying to get out of their contract for years. The publishing. Did they own their publishing? Because they had the monster hits.
No.
Let me finish question. They had the monster hits with Aerosmith and, MTV support and radio support. Were they getting money from that publishing, Run DMC?
No. They were getting performance rights, like they're writing money from the PRO, whether it's ASCAP or BMI. Wow. Once again, that's one of those old 80s contracts where you didn't get publishing, you got a royalty. Right. Run DMC was receiving a royalty from Profile Records, Corey and Steve Plotnick. You know what I'm saying? Which I took Steve Plotnick to court. I've been in court with him the past year and change.
Wow.
For some of them Profile. But either way, yeah. So no, they didn't have a publishing designee. The contract basically says that the record label controls the whole copyright, but they only get a royalty. You know what I'm saying? The dollar comes in, they might get 50 cents. You know what I'm saying? But I own the publishing. When I sell it, do whatever. Well, when I move it around and get admin deals and stuff like that, I don't need your authority. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know his business dealings, but I met Corey Robbins years ago, and he was going to hire me for a job, but I decided to take another job at WEA. He was a nice guy, in my opinion, but but I don't know. Ultimately,
they split. I think they split years ago. I think Corey might have sold his portion to Sony, and Sony controls the master portion of Profile Records now. I think he did. Yeah, they control Sony controls the master portion of They have the master portion of the catalog of Profile Records, Special Ed, Camp Low, you name it, MC8, whoever. Right. That was on Profile, but yeah, so a lot, so that was just the game, the royalty, no publishing, 80s.
Hey man, I appreciate you. Keep me posted whenever you get ready to go live, so I can promote you, guys. This is my homie Goo. His email address is on the screen right there. Reach out to him if you're a songwriter, a producer, an artist, a manager. This man can help you. He can help you set up your label with regards to anything, streaming, any types of mechanical, residuals, publishing, what have you. Go, anything else you want to say, man, before we go?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm gonna start going live, pretty soon, probably tomorrow, and I'll talk to you, I guess, a couple of days, and we'll get it going. But yeah, y'all can reach me, whether through Instagram or however, email, gogglebooks@gmail, and if it makes sense, we could work.
Good to talk to you, Goo. Take care.
All right, take care.
All right. Bye. It's the homie Goo, okay? Folks, it is Thursday evening, and we're going to continue kicking in the back of Michael Nowak, a.k.a. Brother Polight, okay? I just got an email from attorney Aikisha Al-Shabazz with regards to her contact information. And I'm recommending that anybody who has been allegedly scammed by Brother Polight reach out to her. She has been the leading attorney, pardon me, I don't mean to laugh, helping people that have been claiming that Brother Polight has, been scamming them. Remember the cargo homes and all that type of nonsense? Okay, she just responded. Hold on a second, guys. Let me put, what is the number to this show here? 848. 888. 9177. Okay. She might call in. Okay, just oh. Okay, Goo, thank you for calling in, Goo. Hold on, guys. Hold on. We're going to have ourselves a good discussion here this evening, okay? Troll babies, are we okay? How's the audio? Spelling? Okay. I'm kicking in Polight's back tonight, man. And if you want to call in and kick his back in, please do so. Let me check my my phone system here. Okay. Let's go to area code 347. Good evening. Thursday night, late night. Are you there? 347.
Hey, Star, how are you?
Hey, who's this?
My name is Jasmine, big fan. Been a big fan since Hot 97, Shot 97, all of that, big fan.
I don't have fans, but thank you. Good to hear from you. What's cracking?
I want to talk about Diddy, okay?
Come on.
Diddy doesn't do anything for good. He's the devil. He's a Scorpio. This is a play. It has to be a play. It has to. It doesn't make any sense randomly that he's doing this nice gesture all of a sudden.
Okay.
After his son done tried to sample 3 of the songs, none of the songs went number 1. He done milk the samples as much as he can. Now he wants to get back whatever he can after he done used it all up, dried it all up.
Okay.
He's going broke from the deal with the liquor. They're not pushing his liquor.
Okay.
So that he's having that problem, and then all of a sudden this nice gesture. It's always something with him. It's always a play with him. I don't know if he still if they reuse it, and what does he get royalties if they use it as IT, or if does he still get a cut off that? But I promise you, this is going to blow up back up in his face because it's just then the new album is coming out. It's just it smells funny. It smells funny. He's not being nice. He's not.
If I can say this, you sound bitter and scorned, and I love it. Let's talk more. Have you had any experience with this nigga? Never mind the fact that he and I are cool. Never mind all that. Have you been done dirty by that nigga?
No.
Did he smash? Did he smash?
I don't.
Did he allegedly?
Stop.
Come on. I'm sorry. Okay.
I promise you, I don't know him. I don't know the Negro personally. I just the stories I've heard on the underground and all the other sneaky little things that he does. It's just he's a snake. He's a behind closed doors. He's a snake, and everyone knows it. So now that in the limelight, Mace is doing his thing. He can see that Mace doesn't. He waited this long to jump out doing his thing. Now you want to give him back his stuff. Why?
Mace getting the bag
Mace
now.
doesn't need it now. But Mace is not rapping now. Mace is not doing that anymore. Yeah. He's not two-stepping, and he's not doing that. So what does he need it for?
Yeah. But now
something's going on.
Are you a former artist, a former music industry person? Who are we talking to?
No, I just know a few people behind closed doors in the industry, and sometimes I just know a few stories. I'll just say that.
Stylist, record company people. Come on, give us a little something here. Come on.
I want to say record company people, a few stylists, a few bloggers, journalists behind closed doors. Drop a few teas here and there. You go to little parties.
Hang on. Have you and I ever met before? Because record company people are shady. I was one of the shadiest for years. I was shady as fuck.
No, me and you have never met before. No.
Okay. So, so you've never met him, but any business dealings? Anything behind the scenes that maybe you're still holding a slight grudge for it. And I'm I'm not hating if you have a grudge. I want to hear your grudge. Anything that, is making you say, I don't fuck with this nigga Diddy. Come on, give us something.
No, I'm seriously, it's really nothing personal. It's just some of the stories that I've heard behind closed doors of his business dealings and personal dealings that really rub me the wrong way, and how he portrays himself to the public, and how he, sometimes he gives off this love thing, this new love thing, this thing that he's doing. It's like he's like a chameleon. Like he just changes his, like every time, like I don't know, bamboozle a nigga. Like I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate the call. You have a wonderful weekend if I don't talk to you soon. And listen here, honestly, I don't have no fans, but if you've never sent in a donation to the show, make sure you take care of that, all right? I'm on that bullshit.
I sure will, sir.
Okay. All right.
At all times, okay?
Take care now.
Have a good night.
Stop that fan shit. Goddamn, I don't give a fuck about a fan. Oh, wait a minute. Area code 718. I want to make sure that I have the name right. Is this attorney Aikisha Al-Shabazz? Did I say that right?
Peace. Yes, sir.
Yes?
Peace. How you doing, sir?
Good to hear you.
How you doing, brother?
Good to hear your voice. Have we met before?
I don't think so. It's a pleasure, though. It's a pleasure.
I have so much respect for what you've done and what you continue to do. You are a semi-retired attorney, college professor, author, and agent for justice. I have seen your work over the years. To my knowledge, you were the first, if not one of the only ones, questioning the validity of Michael Noak, who most people think it's Nowak, scamming, doing all sorts of crazy shit. And now he has been convicted and sentenced. You did a live earlier, and girl, you went 10 toes down, yes?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Up a little bit. I saw you live, and I appreciated where you was coming from, because this accountability thing is important for us as a community.
Yes.
Right? And I've been on Sonetta's platform. I sat on the couch. I was one of the only people to go against Ali Muhammad and say, listen, you ain't no doctor. That shit is bullshit. Status correction don't work.
Whoa.
Stop with the bullshit.
Wow.
All of that, right? And so, Sonetta, we've had conversations about this behind the scenes.
Okay.
When I first started getting the calls, because I didn't know. When I first was introduced to Brother Polight, I didn't know who he was, right? And shortly after I was on his platform, I started getting messages. Hey, I sent him this. Hey, I sent him that. And I'm like, all right, well, some people, disgruntled about an order here and there. I get that. Business, you're not going to always satisfy everybody. There's going to be a couple of people that's not. But then it was different shit. It was, hey, I gave him $70,000. 65. I gave him $50,000. I sold my car and I gave him my last. I'm pregnant. This shit was out of hand. It was out of control.
Right.
All over the place. Maryland, New York, everywhere. Yeah. I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah. So, I'm like, let me open up my doors. Send me what you got. Send me so we can expose this motherfucker. Because I'm a snitch. I'm telling everybody. Fuck that. I'm telling. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Get this nigga up out of our community.
Yeah. Now, for those
he's perpetrating the whole ass fraud.
For those who don't know, you're semi-retired. Can you give us a little background on your pedigree, how people may or may not know of you, please, because you are official.
Yes, sure. So I'm a former prosecutor, right? So I started at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office in Special Narcotics. Before that, I was an investigator for New York County Defender Services. So I've always been in criminal law. Started on the defense side as an investigator. I became a prosecutor. I did that for 5 years. And then I went back then I started my own practice as a criminal defense attorney. So I went back to the defense side, right? So I flip-flop. So that's the only way you get to know the game, right? You have to be able to negotiate from both sides and understand what that power dynamic looks like. Right. And so that I also taught at a New York law school. I taught there for 5 years, and I'm currently out this semester, but I teach at City Tech in Brooklyn.
Okay.
In the Law and Paralegal Studies department. So I teach there, right? So I'm dealing with the millennials and trying to shape some minds and motivate people. But yeah, I've got a book. I'm a fitness enthusiast. I'm all about black women and being healthy and not being fat. I'm not with that fat shit.
You're very much in shape. I'm not going to go too far back, but you're a Queens native, yes? Queens native?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, I'm Southside. We outside.
Okay, I'm sure
I
you
grew
and
up in 40 Project.
I'm sure you and I know some of the same people, but we'll discuss that another day. Another day.
Indeed.
But now I'm very impressed with your pedigree, and I am here, make no mistake about it, to kick Michael Noakes back in, Brother Polight.
Yes.
I'm bothered by the plea deal. I'm bothered by the fact that he kept this girl from her mother. I don't give a goddamn about his bullshit story. I saw the video that he posted prior to accepting the plea deal yesterday. I had it in my community section. Then I said, you know what? Fuck that nigga. I'm not giving him no goddamn light. You spoke on your platform earlier about involuntary commitment, and can you speak to that and what that means? You gave a great breakdown about what's going to happen after he serves, most of his time, or if not all of his time, the 7 years. He's not just going to get a parole, a probation, pardon me, and then be back on the streets. He has to be, He has to go through some type of observation, some type of clinical treatment?
Assessment.
What? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He has to be assessed. So if you listen to the judge, when the judge is telling him all of the parameters, he tells him at one point, you do understand that you could be subject to involuntary civil commitment under Florida Statute 394 point blah, 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 right? And you hear him pause. You hear the asshole who's supposed to be so damn smart. You hear him pause, and he goes, yeah.
Right.
Because you really don't know. You don't know what you're agreeing to. You don't know. You just agreed to, now you have to be assessed 180 days, right? So 6 months before you are released, you have to be assessed that you are fit to be released. Why? Because you have been deemed to be a sexually violent offender. Right. It doesn't matter that he doesn't have to register as a sex offender. He doesn't have to register, but they still have adjudicated him in this way, right? And so because of that, he's subject to what's called the Jimmy Rice Act. Jimmy Rice was a little boy in Florida who got kidnapped, he got murdered back in the late 90s, right? And so the legislature said we got to do something about these sex offenders. They are prone to reoffend. Right. And so to try to reduce this recidivism and try to reduce this reoffending, they make sure that you are fit, or you're supposed to be fit, before they release you. So before you get released, right? So he's got to do 85% of that time because the game time bill did not pass as far as I know. So it's not 65% like a lot of people think. It's still 85% in Florida. Right. So he's got to do almost 6 years. Then he gets that assessment. And if he's not fit, then he's going to have to go to a mental hospital. Now, to be fit, right, he's subjected to what's called the MDSO. It's the Mentally Disordered Sex Offender Treatment Program. Okay. When you go into those programs, you got to admit that you're a fucking sex offender. You don't get in there and go, well, I'm not really a sex offender. Well, guess what? You're not fit. You're not fit to be released then. Right? You have to admit to what you've been convicted to and sentenced. Bow down, break yourself, or else you're not going nowhere. That's right. That's right. Tell them you like to play with little kids. Tell them. Jesus. You got to admit that. Come on. Yes, because we need to make sure that you understand the nature of your conduct so you don't reoffend. Right? And so you got to get in there and admit some shit. Yeah. Oh, you don't think you could do that? Because you were so hell-bent on, I'm not going to be a sex offender. Motherfucker, you a sex offender. You grimy bastard. Now, I hear the passion. I hear the passion in your voice. And, folks, I'm talking to attorney Aikisha Al-Shabazz. In my community section is a banner. You can contact her. She is official tissue, as we say, and her pedigree is very, very, very upscale, shall we say.
So now, are you still entertaining anybody that may have been scammed by Brother Polight, or is that pretty much a thing of the past now? Because in your email, you said that he has no assets. Is it worth suing him now? Is a is a class action lawsuit even worth it at this point?
That's the thing. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to be a Pyrrhic victory, right? Because even if you win, he has nothing to. He can't even cover the court costs. You know what I mean? So it's going to cost you to sue him. And even if you win, you're not going to recoup that. Right. And then there are no damages or assets to go after. He has no property.
Yeah.
Right? So it's what's the point in that? You know, it's really unfortunate. So I think the best route, right? Because, look, I'm a snitch. I called the feds.
Right.
I've spoken to them. I'm sending emails. I've sent them documentation. Yeah. Like, look over here. You know what I'm saying? But you know how they do us. And we're the least people they care about when we're the victims.
Yeah.
Right? And so, as far as I know, that investigation is still going on. You know how the feds are. They come when they want to come.
Yeah, well, listen, I have a 501c3, the Snitch Network, so I know how the feds are.
I love it.
I'm a proud fucking rat.
Yes.
So,
me too, man. Me too. Fuck that shit.
So now,
but restitution could be a thing. So if he gets, if there are federal charges, then maybe there could be some restitution.
Okay.
And then, you could eke out some sort of payment that way.
Okay. So is there anything else with regards to, people from the past who have lost fortunes, who have given Brother Polight money, allegedly scammed? I'll say allegedly because I know he's down on his luck right now. Is there anything by way of any type of get back, legal get back? I'm not saying anything outside of the law. Anything that people can pursue, or do they just have to sit back and try and find comfort in the fact that he has been convicted and sentenced? Anything left for people?
No, I think that people should continue to file claims. I think there's some direction on there for how you can file a claim with the federal government. If you've been scammed, you can file a claim with your state attorney general. Usually can do that online. I've done it for people. I've given the links out on my YouTube channel. I don't have it right now, but it's available. It's easy to do. You could Google it and do it. I think there's a guy Julian is doing it against Tulsa Real Estate Fund. He's walking people how to file if you got scammed online too. So it's the same type of process. You want to lodge your claim. Get your claim in there so that whatever jurisdiction does, in fact, maybe prosecute him, if there's a restitution order, you could be a part of it.
Right.
So get the claims in. You want to get the claims in. Let them know what's happening. And if somebody is still running his business while he's doing this shit, he's going to be in violation of the terms of his fucking probation or his plea. He'll be in violation of the terms of his plea. Yes, so let him keep doing that shit. Go ahead, Aminette. Keep fucking putting shit on that stupid-ass Instagram page so he could get these 61 years. So he can get every last one of these 61 years.
If I can speak to this, and my title tonight, Brother Polight, is Defiant and Violating His Plea Deal Agreement Terms. Can you speak to that? Because his defiant video that he, again, posted on YouTube and Instagram, I looked at that and I said, I'm not going to even give this any fucking light. I think he's defiant. I think he's still talking to the peanut gallery and whoever else will think that he's still got some swag, but yet and still when he got in front of that judge, he went into slave mode. So can you give us some type of legal definitions with regards to him violating his plea deal agreement now with that video and other videos?
Absolutely.
Please.
Absolutely. So one of the conditions of his plea agreement is that it's a stay-away order, right? And typically you would hear the judge lay out what that means, which I was a little concerned that didn't happen. Maybe it happened in a prior proceeding. But in the stay-away order, they typically will lay out for the defendant what that means. That means no contact, no third-party contact. Like you can't tell somebody to tell somebody, right? That means no social media contact. That means no sort of contact that might threaten, intimidate, and or harass.
Right.
That's exactly what you just fucking did.
Yeah.
You just posted something that is threatening, intimidating, and designed to harass this woman and or her child.
Yeah.
Right? His only plausible deniability is that it happened before he took the plea. Right? But it's still up. You know, it's still up.
Yeah.
And so now that the plea has been taken, there should be some direction, right? That all that shit needs to come down.
That's a fact.
Because you're in violation of the plea. Now, if the DA sees it and it's still up there and they tell you to take it down, you don't take it down, or you continue to post these videos that you pre-taped before you went into jail, because we know you got 100 of them shits lined the fuck up, right? If you continue to do that, you're not going to get your plea back, right? A lot of people are like, oh, he's going to get his plea back. No, fuck that. You ain't getting your plea back. You're going to get sentenced to the 61 years that this judge promised you he could. He can give him up to 61 years for violating the terms of the plea. You don't get that shit back.
Right.
That's not how that works.
Right. Hey, it's good.
So, yeah, he needs to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's good to talk to you. I hope that we can talk
Likewise.
again. And is the spelling okay on the banner in the community section? All the spelling's okay?
Yes, you got it right on the nose.
Okay. Anything else you want to mention about what it is that services you provide, or Brother Polight? I'll give you the last word, please.
Yeah, you could just find me on Ike Speaks. I'm on Twitter, Ike Speaks. I'm on Instagram, Ike Speaks, and here on YouTube, Ike Speaks.
I appreciate you calling in, and I'm gonna change the banner with regards to if you have been scammed. Contact this attorney. I'll say something about, send in a donation and she'll give you a consultation.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Well, thank you for having me, Star.
Thank
I really appreciate it.
And
right,
anytime you want to get something put across, just reach out. Thank you so much.
Likewise.
Take care.
All right, take care.
Bye now. Okay.
Peace.
All right. There she was, attorney Aikisha Al-Shabazz, semi-retired college professor, author, and agent for justice, okay? Her contact information is in my community section, all right? Guys, also in my community section is new paperwork on 1090 Jake. Download it now, because by 9 a.m., the paperwork will be gone. Download it, use it, repost it, make videos, do whatever you got to do. I'm asking the question. I'm not trying to kick his back in. If he's doing snitch work, that's a great thing. But I am going to rename him. 1090 Jake, your new name is Harry Houdini. How the fuck did you get these charges and get out the way you did? Felony, first degree, punishable by life. Felony, third degree. Felony, another first felony, punishable by life. Damn, second degree felony. Yesterday, I posted paperwork that showed that he was charged with beating up a senior citizen, somebody over 65. If you have not gotten the chance to download that paperwork, send an email along with a donation. I'll send you the PDF file, okay? I know that you guys, you like to do everything on your phones, hold the phone up to the screen and all that sort of shit. I post the actual PDF files in my community section so that they're legible. You can download the files, print out the goddamn files, okay? I have nothing against this guy, 1090 Jake, but listen, if he's exposing people, then he should have no problem with his information being exposed. Me, I'm a proud fucking rat. I've signed proffer agreements. I don't give a fuck. Hang on a second. Something else I just wanted to check here on Jacob Cherry's paperwork. That's his name, Jacob. And I called down to Florida. I'm not going to say exactly where because I have a 501c3. I was on the phone with 2 deputies and a sheriff. If this young man is a rat and a snitch, hey, that's a great thing. I wish nothing bad upon him. 1090 Jake. Paperwork in my community section, okay? Let me bring in area code 732. Late night. Kicking in the back of Brother Polight. Are you there? Area code 732. Yes, no, maybe. Got to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Folks, there's some type of Cash App issue with everybody. So if I don't get your Cash Apps, I will definitely read them tomorrow. You have my word. Is that the Hassan Campbell who sent it a donation? I'm not sure because there's a few troll accounts. If that is the homie Poppy, a.k.a. Hassan Campbell, salute to you. He says, don't drop the soap, okay? Is that his actual page, guys, or is that somebody impersonating him, okay? Hassan Campbell doing really, really good work, as always, with regards to, I'm even going to say community affairs. Absolutely, okay? Absolutely. Who else sent it a donation? Hey, Patrice, I got your donation. Thank you so much. Hang on. I have a guy named Javier. I got your PayPal donation. Oh, okay. Well, Javier, yes. Okay. He's saying, Star, why don't you put out the paperwork when you kicked the tranny in the head over the gram of coke? Well, I wasn't arrested over that. But I was honest with you just in case the tranny popped up one day and says, you know, that guy kicked me in the side of the head in 1987 on 145th Street on the third floor. And I owned up to it, okay? Yes, the tranny nigga tried to beat me on some coke, 3 o'clock in the morning. Kicked him in the side of the head. I've done some other dumb shit as well, but thank you for your donation, all right? Blade tapping in. Blade says, see, shit like this, why the U.S. is afraid of Chinese tech. Okay, thank you, Blade. Hold on a second. Piece to Prince. Which Prince is this? I know like 8 niggas named Prince. Okay. Prince from New Jersey. South Jersey. Okay. Thank you for your support, sir. Thank you so much. He says, I'm just supporting the machine. Yes, folks, this is a machine. I have very few friends. Anybody want to care to talk about Tory Lanez before I shut it down? He rejected a 4-year plea deal. And his dumb ass got sentenced to 10 years. Okay. A few more calls here. Let's go to area code 201. Late night. Talking about Brother Polight. Are you there? 201. Yes, no, maybe? You've been on hold for a while. Yes. Good evening.
Yes, it's a pleasure to be on your platform tonight.
Hey there.
Thank you for answering.
Okay. Nice to hear from you.
Yes, I want to comment on Brother Polight.
Please.
If that's okay.
Please, yes, you have the floor.
Yes, I think it's time for us as a community to stop allowing ourselves to be susceptible to con artists, poverty pimps in our community who have manipulated us out of our funds.
Right.
And I think it's time for a change. This person was very manipulative. He went into our community. He had a lot of promises to make people rich, but he didn't pan out on any of those promises, and instead he engaged in very despicable conduct. And I think it's time for us to wise up and get ourselves together.
Can I ask, how old are you?
I'm 44 years old.
Okay. When did you become wise and acquire knowledge of self? Because what you're saying sounds great, but, you know, many people have to learn the hard way. And I'm not, trying to be funny here. Many people have to learn the hard way. And poverty pimps, as you just pointed out, a very old term, poverty pimps are always going to find, people looking for salvation, looking for comfort, looking for a quote unquote leader. When did you yourself, snap out of it?
Okay, well, I've been researching my history for the last 10 years on YouTube and other sources regarding my indigenous ancestry, etc.
Nice.
But as far as this person, Polight, I feel as though he was always, a con artist. He always had complaints against him from the people, and I think that we sometimes give people passes. We want to believe in their story and their sob stories.
Right.
And it has not helped us. I don't even think this person is indigenous or ADOS. I don't know what term you want to use, FBA.
Right.
I believe he's, someone from another place on this planet, whatever, or Earth.
A spirit chucker. Go ahead. I'm silly. Go ahead.
Yes, but I think we have to wisen up. We have to, if we need answers, we have to go to God, the Most High. We can't go to man. That's what has led us to be manipulated and constantly oppressed. So I think it's time for us to pray to the Most High and ask God for the answers instead of these poverty pimps and other manipulators in our communities.
I'm a non-believer in the theory of God, an atheist to be short, but I have no problem with you seeking comfort in the unknown as long as it's not violating my rights. But now, Brother Polight and others like him, they thrive on mysticism, the unknown and hustling salvation. So when you say we, that's a little troublesome because, I don't think that people of a certain culture or a certain economic, position should be looking for leaders in a sense. I think it's more of a rational place that you have to reach. You yourself said you've been searching for the last decade and you're in your 40s now. So up until you were 30, you weren't necessarily in seek of the knowledge. Would that be fair to say?
Up until I was 30, I was not in search of the knowledge. I was just a lost person like most of us, most people in this country. And then it came to a point where, I had to find out who I am because I think that's the missing part of all black people in this country. We don't know our history. It's been hidden, it's been stolen, it's been, concealed. We don't know who we are, and I was constantly in search of my identity as a black person in this country. And I determined that we are the original indigenous people of this country, and our land was stolen. And, my life purpose at this point is to make everybody aware of that. But as far as this guy Polight, I think that we are very vulnerable people. We've been through a lot. So, outsiders or, people who do not subscribe to what's righteous can easily come into our midst and manipulate us and get us out of our money or drain our resources. So I think we have to be more intelligent when we're dealing with other people, and we have to do what's in our best interest. And that's my position.
Okay. I appreciate the call. Do you have a platform yourself, or you just calling in?
I'm just calling in, and I appreciate you, Star, and thank you for keeping it real.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.